Good day. Here we are again together with one another, and I hope the word that I have today will bring us some hope and encouragement. We are like in day 55 or something like that since the stay-at-home order went into existence, and I think we're getting tired of it. We were wanting to get back together, certainly. So I have a simple goal for us today, and that is to maybe change our language. We have been using this term social distancing. That's what we've been doing. But that's not really what we've been doing. What we've been doing is physically distancing. And I think there's an important difference. I think we need to continue to physically distance to keep the spread of the virus from happening or to hold it back. But I don't think we want to even be social distancing. I'm not sure that's good for us. There's a couple verses in the Bible that have been often used to teach the importance of staying connected. It's Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25, where it says this, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." These verses have been kind of the go-to verses for a long time to teach the importance of being connected with others, of being in a life group, of working on good friendships and relationships with one another. And you might say, let us not give up meeting together. Well, that's kind of a bust now because we can't do that. Well, that's not true. We can continue being connected, meeting together in whatever means we can. While we may be still trying to physically distance from one another, we can continue to be socially connected, socially close with one another. Think of all the creative things that you've either participated in yourself or seen others do. You've probably been involved with some Zoom meetings that you hadn't done before. I'd never been at a Zoom meeting before this all started, and maybe even getting tired of them to a certain extent, but they've been helpful. I think of the home concerts that musical artists have worked together on, sometimes filling the whole screen with different musicians or singers entertaining us. I think of the car parades that people have done to go by somebody's house on a birthday or some other special occasion to be socially close with one another. Or the chalk messages on sidewalks and driveways to encourage one another. People are using the phone more to actually call and talk. Or I heard that even letter writing is going up. And think about what we're doing right here. Before this all started, I didn't do these kinds of messages. You see, there's all kinds of ways we're trying to stay socially close, even as we physically distant from one another. Because we know in our bones that God's first assessment of the human person is accurate. It's not good for us to be alone. At the end of that verse from Hebrews, it says that we should do this, stay connected with one another, stay socially close with one another, even as we see the day approaching. And people have speculated, what's that mean, the day? What day we're talking about? I think there's a day that's coming in regards to this epidemic that we're in. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's going to get worse before it gets better? Or are we already past the worst part? I suppose this is a matter of opinion, and unfortunately it's even become kind of a political thing. But I today listened to a rather sobering presentation by an infectious disease epidemiologist named Dr. Michael Osterholm. If you want to view this yourself, message me and I'll send you the link. And he said this is an influenza-type pandemic, which means it's going to keep doing what it's doing until it reaches about 60 or 70% infection rate. Now, I don't know if that's the way it's going to happen, but it may be. And I'm imagining that we may have some tougher days ahead of us yet. I think we're getting this sense like, oh, we're almost over it. And maybe that's true. I hope it is. But it might get tougher. And we're going to maybe need each other more as we see that day approaching. So let's change our language here. Let's stop saying we are socially distancing and say what we're doing is physically distancing with one another. But let's continue to meet together in whatever creative ways we can. Let's say that while we're trying to physically distance, we're trying to be socially close, socially connected, maybe even more so. I think that's important for all of us, and it will be encouragement as we move forward. So, as I've said often, let's stay connected. Have a great day today.